All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation. My name is Reid Nelson. This is Izzy Alkafas. This is This Week in Rec, Season 5, Episode 1. We have nothing to talk about, so we're just going to wing it. I think that's part of the allure. So tonight, pretty good night. Lakers, new look Lakers take down Big Smash. You guys handled the Broncos. Thumpers took down the Red Devils in overtime. Blue Horns crushed the Tropics. I had a chance to talk with Anton Martynenko before the game. And the Rebels lost, and we'll talk about that. But Anton, there was a little bit of controversy behind the scenes about Dustin Dupont deciding to play for Fob 5. This is what Anton had to say. All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation, I'm here with Anton Martynenko.
Yeah, that's good.
Got it. From the Tropics. We're here week 1, Bloomington South. You guys are taking on who tonight?
Blue Horns.
Blue Horns, okay. So we'll obviously have the results up on uhlife.com at the end of the night. So I wanted to talk to you about some drama that was going on at the end of last season. You guys made it to the Final Four, great run. You guys won your first 2 playoff games. Talk about your run a little bit from last season.
We played really well. I think our problem's always kind of been attendance issues over the last few seasons. We've had a lot of guys missing, for different reasons, and kind of just all put it together there. Our attendance we had Kyle that was injured almost the entire season, but besides that, in those two playoff games, we beat 2 pretty good teams handily. Everyone was there, so it was a big 2 wins for us. Our first 2 playoff wins and got to the Final Four.
So you get to the Final Four, you play the Fob 5. Your guard, Dustin Dupont, also plays for the Fob 5. Without Dustin, you guys have 5 guys. They would have 6 guys. But he chose to play with them, giving them 7, and you guys only 5. Take us through kind of, that situation with yourself and Dustin.
Yeah, well, first of all, Dustin's, a great player. Defensively and intensity is second to none in the league. But, coming into the season, he was on Fob 5 before us, to be honest. Coming into the season, he joined us week 2. I think he missed a couple of games. We won both those during the year. But, we always try to make everyone feel welcome. We're going out afterwards, open gyms and things like that, and everything was going well. We won the first quarterfinal that day to advance to the Final Four, and there was a possibility if Fob 5 beat the Red Devils, that he would have, be playing against each other basically. He'd be in the championship either way. And he mentioned if that happened, before we all left, that he would sit out that game. And, later on, Tyler was questionable for that game with the scheduling of it. It didn't allow him to be there. If we knew Dustin wasn't going to play with us or be there, then we would have made a bigger attempt, our priority to get Tyler there. So it was always said that he wasn't going to play at all in the game, and ended up playing for them, which wasn't too fair to us, to say the least.
So he plays with you guys. Are you guys raising a banner up here in Bloomington this season?
I think so. We expected to win the game whether we had 5 players, 6, 7, or 8, but that was it was a tough break. It's hard to win any game with 5 players, let alone a game of Final Four intensity with 5 players. So he was a big part of the team. It was always said he wasn't going to play in that game. You think the fairest thing to do would maybe even it out or just sit out because he's going to be in the championship either way. But I had multiple players come out from other teams, and the league and refs that even kind of said that we kind of got screwed there. So it was a tough break for us, but hopefully we'll be back even better this year. Now
he'll be on the Rebels this season. Are you guys on good terms?
I haven't really spoke to him. It's not something that we didn't. It's only been a few weeks, but I haven't spoken to him yet.
All right, thank you, Anton. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, that was Anton Martynenko. I know he was upset. There's a lot of people that I had some information that I was privy to that he was upset, and maybe rightfully so. You have some experience with it with the Avengers situation. What's it like to play Iron 5 versus your teammate on the other side who has 7, or in your case it was 8, I think.
It sucks, but I don't think it's that big of a disadvantage, and we highlighted this last time, because those 5 guys feel slighted, so they play harder, and those 8 guys just expect to win. So they kind of play complacent. So sure, it's a huge disadvantage, but I think in terms of effort, the guys with 5 players, historically so far, what I've seen is the team that gets slighted ends up playing better than the team that has the better player. Does he have any beef with it? I don't think he should. it was like Dustin was a rent-a-player. They picked him up last minute. He's been on 5-5 for over a year. I mean, what do you expect? So that's my take on it. But sure, it sucks.
How long will it take the Rebels to get the rust off of them? Because they didn't look good tonight.
They did not look good. I don't know. The Rebels are a team that, even if they're down 20, teams will let them back in the game. The Squires tried really hard today. They were up by a lot, but they just kept trying to dribble through double teams, behind the backs, trying to get real cute. And the Rebels just need 2 or 3 of those to turn into their favor, and then it's a different ballgame. The Squires got lucky because those plays, a few of them actually led to points because the ball would just bounce around, somebody would grab it, somebody under the hoop for a layup. That usually doesn't happen with the Rebels. If they make you drop the ball is loose, they will get it. But they were just too big of a deficit. I think they're down 20 at one point. And they're not a team that can really come back down from 20. 10, easy. 20, not so much.
Patrick Magnuson out, Cody in. Drop off. Are they better off without Pat and Cody? Are they worse with Cody and without Pat?
Well, they're two different players. Cody, if they didn't have Justin, Cody would be a perfect fit, because Cody is essentially Justin, just not as trigger happy, but not as but at the same time, it kind of, I don't know if it would really help the Rebels, because Justin's that guy that keeps shooting. They don't have anybody that really wants to shoot, so he's kind of got the green light. He's their guy to just launch them. Cody is a very smart basketball player, and he doesn't like forcing shots. So I don't know if the Rebels' offense would stall if he was there. Between Cody and Pat, I think Pat might be a better fit because Cody and Justin are too similar. So you have them both out there, they're just the same guy. Pat at least is their athletic, wing guy who makes plays happen around the hoop. Those dunks really, they'll get the momentum
They
shifted
get you going.
quick. Yeah, for sure. So they're both really good players. In terms of the roster that's assembled, I think Pat is the better fit because of the cloning of Justin and Cody.
Do them takes down Showtime easily tonight? Now Showtime only had 4 guys. Is this the year them gets past the first round of the playoffs?
I didn't watch the game. I heard it was 5-on-4.
5-on-4, yeah.
If they didn't add anybody, they will not get past the first round. Well, it depends on the matchup. Unlikely. It really depends on their seed. If they could go 6-2, 7-1 again, they'll get one of the higher seeds and they can get paired up with a lower team. But if they fall into the 5-3 range, they're going to have a tough time beating one of those top 10 teams.
Anton Lynch, MVP of Iraq, announced today. You guys lose him to the Lakers. What happened there?
It was kind of one of those things where, hey, Twan, you going to play next season? He's like, no, I'm probably going to sit out. Okay, that's fine. And then I get a text from Casey Schonauer asking me, Twan wants to know Lakers or Rebels. And I was like, I don't give a shit. I didn't actually respond. I was like, whatever, he can play wherever he wants. So it was just gone. I mean, I didn't ask him to play again after he said that he wasn't going to play. I didn't really go after him. And it is what it is. It's kind of a blessing because I think Rec, if you look at all the Rec teams, you look at the Turtles, you look at the Rebels, you look at what Fob did, what the T-Pups did. One big is the key. I think that is the ingredient. You get 4 smaller guards, maybe small forwards, with 1 big man, and those are the teams that have won. So I think that might be the recipe. A little bit of defense and just 1 big guy. 2 kind of just gets sloppy.
What about 3? I think the Lakers are going to have something to say about 3 big men this season. 3 of you can make an argument they have 3 of the 4 best big men in Rec on their team.
Yeah, I mean, they got 3 great big men, but 3 big men that really are offensive. I think there's 2 blocks on a basketball court. So you got 1, 2. Maybe you can throw one 3 seconds in the lane a couple times. I don't know. Maybe put them in the free throw line. Triangle offense. I just don't like the 3 bigs. I don't think it works. You need defenders on the court in Rec. and those other teams have shown that. The Lakers are not a defensive team. If they win, they'll win purely based on just swarming teams on offense. Just letting it fly, banging down low offensive rebounds. That's going to be their MO.
18 teams in Bloomington, 12 in Fridley. That means 30. Are we going to go 24 for the playoffs, you think? Back to 24?
I think once you hit 30, you bump it up to 24. I think anything lower than 30, you keep it at 20. I think the committee will get together, obviously, and it'll be close. I think it'll be close. I think Jason likes the 20. I think you like the 20.
Yeah.
But I think with 30 teams, leaving 10 out, leaving it 33% of the teams kind of hurts some of these guys, and it's nice to have teams in the playoffs.
I would like to see Week 7 and Week 8 games with those fringe teams mean something. Make it like they're fighting to get in the playoffs. I think that's cool. Whereas with 24, it's like if you got 3 wins, you're pretty much going to be in. There'll be a couple 3-win teams that aren't, but
yeah, but you extend 4 teams, 4 of the teams that are in the bottom. You extend their off season or shorten their off season by a week. It's something for them to look forward to. A lot of these teams don't get the opportunity to get in the playoffs. So even if you're the 24th best team, getting in is just
it's
all they want.
A special treat.
It's all they want. So I'm all for 24.
Any other thoughts? Week 1.
No, it was a lot of good games tonight. I like the idea. Historically, this is what Bloomington's done. They stack the early schedule, and then the later games are just junk. It'll be, Rebels, free agents, and it's like, why? Let's have these good teams play each other at the end. So hopefully Chad or whoever's making the schedule now stacks the first week and then teases us throughout the season, and then the last 2 weeks should be good teams against each other.
There may be a certain players committee head that's putting together the schedule this season.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna give him a shot. So
Blue Horns are playing the Muskies, the free agents, Bad Boys. Who else is there? The Johnny Football. Who the heck is that?
that's a Fridley team, but they'll get the free agents twice, Week 2 and Week 8. Oh, it was an accident. All right, thank you, UH Nation.